In IIT, mainly what happens is we have two things. One is called slot and one is called spot. Positive vibe to the start of my interview. But even though our names are same, he didn't show mercy in interview. So I was waiting from evening 4 to night 2 o'clock. I was staying till the result I did. DS is definitely important. If data structures and algorithms, if you are not good at coding, I can say if you are a computer science engineer, 50 to 70% of companies, you assume you are not shortlisted itself. Don't even apply for those companies if you are not good with DSA. So you have to be very strong with whatever you put on your resume. At the end of the day, I say some part of luck is always after going there, after seeing my mom. I was just broke.
Hello viewers, so let's welcome Gnana Prakash. He is my classmate and my friend, close friend of mine. So today he will be sharing his experience at IIT Guwahati and the overall placement experience and some of the crazy things that we have done in IIT Guwahati. So I'll be asking Gnana Prakash with his introduction. Gnana Prakash, could you please introduce yourself to the audience and please give a brief about you in IIT Guwahati and how is life at IIT Guwahati till now? Could you give a brief?
Yeah, sure, Karthik. Thanks for inviting Karthik. Actually, he is one of my closest friend in IIT Guwahati. We are batch of 5. You can say he is one of the most skilled person in our team. Thanks for inviting me once again. Coming to myself, my name is Gnana Prakash. Currently, I am doing M.Tech Computer Science Engineering in IIT Guwahati. I have secured AIR 632 rank in the GATE examination, and for those who don't know GATE examination, it is one of the path to reach IIT for M.Tech course. And pre-GATE examination, what I have done is I have 3 years of experience in Tata Consultant Services. Unfortunately, due to COVID, I have to stay in home for 3 years. Actually, it's also a good thing for me. Why? Because the pre-job what I have been always in the hostel, but 3 years I have been spending time with my parents. But at that time, because of one of the regret that in my intermediate I've scored 13,000 rank, but I was not able to go to IITs due to some family circumstances. But then came this opportunity of GATE examination, so I thought why not try and just go and explore IIT and go and meet the brilliant minds of the India. So I gave the GATE examination. I got AIR 732 rank in my first attempt, and I was not into top 7 IITs with that rank. Then again I have given the next year. I got AIR 632 rank, and fortunately I got into IIT Guwahati. You can say it is one of the best moment of my life. Why? Because it is one of the regret which has been fulfilled that I haven't gone to IITs. And fortunately I am here and met a very good group of friends also who are similarly brilliant minds here. One of them is Karthik itself. And coming to my placement, yes, that is one of the main mottos to come here, to have a great jump to the product based company, and have been placed into Juniper Networks, which is one of my targets for coming here. And fortunately I placed in it. Everything is so far good.
So it's all about hard work that we do here, and
definitely without
lot of up and downs that we go through.
Yeah, yes, right? Yeah, I guess my journey in IIT Guwahati always involves you. Yes, hard work is definitely important. Without, even if you, this is an IIT where everyone competes like anything. It's more like a rat race. Definitely you have to hard work. We have to be competitive enough. Even friends, we cannot do anything in case of a job. Yes, I have done hard work, and fortunately I got the results.
So so I called Gnana Prakash as GP. So in the rest of my interview I'll be addressing Gnana Prakash as GP only. So GP, could you please run us through the interview process or technical rounds happened in your interview process? Could you give a brief of it, and if possible could you say in how many rounds were there, and some detailing about your interview process, and if possible give the overall idea of placement that happens in IIT Guwahati?
Sure, Karthik. In IIT mainly what happens is we have two things. One is called slot and one is called spot. So basically initially we'll talk about the slot rounds, which is important in our college. So what happens in IIT Guwahati is first of all we will be giving all our written exams, which is where we will get shortlisted for the interviews. So first of all, after writing the written exams and once you get shortlisting details, you will be having some set of companies in your hand where you can go for and give interviews. So there will be slots like slot 1.1 on the day 1, day 2, day 3, we will be having 3 slots per day. And on these slots, we will be having some set of companies which comes where the individual has to go and give their interviews on that slot. And once you are selected into one company, and it's an IIT's, every IIT's policy, once you are selected into a company, you're shortlisted, the interview, everything is done, you cannot go and give interview to any other shortlisted companies. And coming to my interview, there are 3 rounds, basically 2 technical rounds and 1 managerial round. You can say HR round also. And first round is entirely about networks. It's basically a networking company. So I went through basic networking questions and all were then. As I'm a GATE aspirant, I have been preparing computer networks a lot. So luckily the basic questions, the first round is entirely you have knowledge of computer network topics or not. The second round, it's actually none other Gnana Prakash who interviewed this Gnana Prakash.
Okay.
That's really, when I went, he don't know that my name is Gnana Prakash, but I know his name is Gnana. So I went and he will ask, introduce yourself. Hello sir, my name is Gnana Prakash. He just said, I never thought someone is there with my name here. It's really great to meet someone. That's a very positive vibe to the start of my interview. But even though our names are same, he didn't show mercy in interview. The interview went into the advanced level of computer networks itself for me. The thing what happened in interview mainly is, whatever question he asked, whatever answer I gave, the only next question he asked is 3-letter word, WHY, why this happened, why that happened. So almost 10 whys. He's digging deeper. Every interviewer has one thing. They want the student to give answer itself, but they want to check your depth, how much depth. So sometimes the answers itself I don't know. I will come up with some other answers and he will ask why. At that time, it's really, at that time adrenaline rush was at the top. Whenever you go for interview, your adrenaline rush will be there. Somehow you will get the answers. So that was one of the most memorable experience. And the last thing is I have waited almost for 1 day. I have left 4 companies interviews, whichever I have shortlisted. I haven't given interview for any company. I was just waiting for this company. I want the result. So I was waiting from evening 4 to night 2 o'clock. I was staying till the result I get. It's really great.
So GP, so that's a good insight on how your interview process was, and I want people to know a bit of these online examinations that happen. How rigorous were they, and how good we have to be crack that examinations? So could you please give some glimpse of that particular point of view?
That's a good question actually. Now because in IITs, there are 2 modes of examinations, online mode and offline mode. So online mode examination also, they will ask you to go, even if it is online mode, it doesn't mean you stay in your room and write. You have to go to the rooms they allocate, and you have to go there and you have to write. And coming to the level of examination, first of all, you are an IITian. And the companies whichever come expects more from you. That's the reason they offer you good packages also. So definitely the level of examination goes from medium to hard. If it's a coding examination, definitely if there are 2 questions, one easy, one medium, one hard, that's the standard level that they will maintain. If it's a multiple choice question answer, I can say it's definitely at the hard level. It's definitely not easy exam. In order to crack these exams, definitely you have to rigorously practice whatever domain you are targeting for. As I am a computer science aspirant, the only thing I have to definitely be strong is at DSA. Why? Because that is what the coding exam is, where my targets is also SD roles. So I have rigorously practiced for DSA, as well as my core concepts of computer science are also important. So yeah, that's how the online exams and offline exams goes. Every time before the examination comes, examination is scheduled. Before 1 hour or half an hour, we will get the slots where we have to go and sit and write the examination. The invigilation will be there, so definitely there is no room for copying. So you have to, it's up to that day. If you are good enough to give the exam well, yes, you are shortlisted, else sorry for that, that's it.
Yes, that's absolutely true. We should be lucky enough sometimes to crack the examinations.
Yes.
That is the main lesson that we have learned over the journey in the placement process. And as we are specific to Juniper Networks, which is a networking company, could you please run us through the detailing of like what is actually required, more into DSA or more into networking, and how much depth of networking is being required and how much depth of DSA is being required for the role that is being offered? Could you please run us through all these preliminaries or all these resources that are being required for a given student?
Sure, Karthik. See, of course, my target, one of my targeted companies, Juniper Networks. That doesn't mean I have not preparing for other companies. So, yes, what happens is, first of all, as a computer science aspirant, I am saying DS is definitely important. If data structures and algorithms, if you are not good at coding, I can say if you are a computer science engineer, 50 to 70% of companies, you assume you are not shortlisted itself. Don't even apply for those companies if you are not good with DSA. So yeah, I have prepared rigorously for DSA. And another thing is, we prepare not only for the examination, we definitely prepare for the interviews also. So you have to be very strong with whatever you put on your resume. If you put something which you don't know on resume, somehow you will have some bad day. The interview will target only the topic you don't know. That's what happens to most of the students. That's what happens to everyone. So whatever you put on resume, definitely have to prepare for it. I have put on my DSS skills. I have put on all core subjects of computer science. Core subjects of computer science like computer networks is definitely one of them. But computer networks, as my target is one of the networking company, I have delved a deeper into computer networks. And one thing is, my thesis is also on the computer networks. So my thesis along with the course concept I have definitely helped me for my interview. Why? Because when you're going for thesis, as you know, you have wrote multiple papers. So you delve deeper into the concepts of everything. Correct. So that's what really helped me, my thesis, where it is also computer networks. Luckily, they asked only computer networks and I got cracked it. At the end of the day, I say some part of luck is always there. Why? Because they asked the questions only I know. Some of the questions were challenging, yes, but definitely we solved it somehow. Somehow the interviewer helped me to get the answers. Yeah, that's how it is.
So the main takeaway here is if your resume is good enough to a particular profile, let's say he is doing his master thesis in a domain of networking, and Juniper Networks is very well aligned with the networking. So that helped him a lot in the process of this interview process. And there is very much requirement of DSA also in whole process. And GP, I want to ask you something like as we are moving ahead, the DSA is being obsolete, as many were saying the DSA is being obsolete. And what else you think the people should concentrate, and what else is the most required thing that people should take away in their coursework or curriculum, you think? What's your point of view in this particular aspect?
See, basically DSA is never obsolete. The thing is, nowadays what happens is either LLMs or whatever that are coming, ChatGPT, everything. The thing is, they give the codes faster than human being right now. But DSA is never obsolete. Why? Because it is a data structure where our computer systems were designed using those. It can be either memory management or everything. Definitely, that's how we represent our memory. That is one of the data structure concept. Okay. So they are not obsolete. But yes, there are many roles right now. Why? Because coding right now is not mainly concentrated. Why? Because coding can be easily generated nowadays. Easily generated. So even if you have a basic concept of them, that easy for anyone to code. So that's why right now where we go is, how we develop those chat GPT, LLMs, whatever things we have. In order to develop them, definitely we need again a coding thing. But we need a different style of coding, like it can be either a machine learning or AI or data science or web development. Everything is present. So DSA is never obsolete. But why? Because even for interviews or even for whatever online exams you have to know DSA in order to get entry. Even in Juniper, although they have asked me every networking questions, the examination round I have are a DSA of 3 questions and machine learning of 2 questions. The interview has nothing with the online exam they have, but they expect at least some coding knowledge you have. Without a coding knowledge, even if I go anywhere, even if I learn machine learning or anything, I have to code at the end of the day. They will just see how our learning curve is. You're good at coding or not. How good at the basics, how good at basics you are finally. That's the end of the day. How good you are at the basics. So DSA is never obsolete. You have to definitely prepare for exams. You have multiple other roles where you can target. Either it can go for data science roles. You have to learn the coding of data science. For data science also you have libraries like NumPy or MATLAB. Everything we have. They have their own data structures. If you go for NumPy, we have NumPy arrays. So data structures, everything will be having their own data structures. So data science, machine learning, AI, web development, someone will go for VLSI, hardware side. So there are many roles that are there. So that's it.
So GP, I want to know a bit of coursework at IIT Guwahati. Like the coursework that you have done in IIT Guwahati, how much useful it is for you to be attending these placements, and how much it is aligned with the placement questions that are being asked or placement process that is being gone through. How much is the coursework that is being useful in your placement process, or for that matter in your research for your MTP thesis as well?
Coursework, actually it's an interesting question. Why? Because that's one of the horrors I have seen in IITs. The coursework is so rigorous. First of all, the target of any college or any IIT is not specific to a company, or it's not specific to a domain. They cover wide range of topics, and in this wide range of topics, if you are interested in one, then you target that one. That's the reason where every coursework in IITs or any college, the coursework covers wide range of topics. Coming to IIT, we have ML, we have image processing subject, we have VLSI subject, we have data structure subject, we have algorithm subject, so data science subject. So we have wide variety of concepts. At the end of the day, it's up to your interest where you go. And my interest has always been SD role, where I want to go, SC role, so where I want to go. So definitely my data structures has helped me a lot, but that is also one of the horrors we have seen. Entire our class have seen horrors of that subject. Coming to that subject, the most challenging in that subject is you cannot use libraries. Why? Because we have been trained in such a way that so far, even in B.Tech anywhere, use libraries to make our life easier. Even for sorting nowadays, we use just a sort method. So it's such how we were trained. After coming into IIT, suddenly they said don't use any libraries of C++ or Python, whichever you're good at. Write every data structure from the scratch, and that too in C. You see how torture it is for a guy who has just come after 3 years of job, forgetting all the stuff of DSA. Why? Because in jobs I will not be using. In TCS I have JavaScript, which I have been using. I have come here, I was literally shocked. Why will I use? I have libraries. Why should I go through all the work? But no one listens to me. No one listens to the class. It's up to the IIT and their curriculum structure we have to follow. But actually that is one of the most interesting thing about our subject DSA and IIT, where they make our basics strong, where you can build your own data structures. So far, even in B.Tech, so most of the student, if they say heap, at most they will take C++ and use priority queue to do all the stuff. But how the heap is built, how the basic structure of heap is there, that's what IIT is great about. They make our basics so strong. So although it's a horror movie, at the end of the day we have to go through that. So I have struggled a lot, like I have done many night outs, and we have went through a lot of night outs where we want to practice every concept. Through C we have to learn. So every Saturday we used to have an exam, morning 9 to 12. So if it's a good exam, we will go and have some nice biryani in our Lohit canteen here. If it's not good, we will go sadly to eat biryani. At the end of the day, we'll have biryani. Common. So that's a really good thing. Why? Because we enjoyed eating biryani in our Lohit canteen. And why? Because we target once a week. Either bad, happy or good, we go and eat biryani to make our stomachs happy.
So the main takeaway here is like IITs help us building the basics very strong.
Correct.
Like on top of what IITs teach us, we should make use of it and we should build on top of. So GP, I thought of not asking this question. It might make you a bit sad. During our placement process, you were been in not so good process, which is your mother been passing away. So sorry for bringing up that question, but I am sure it will be more inspiration and many people have to learn from the stories of such things. I am sure like it will be helpful for many people. It is happened during our placement process, which is at a peak stage, and it is been very challenging time for you. We have seen you running here and there. You have been in your home for 1 month and it is very hard for you. So could you please talk a bit of it, and it will be very inspiration for many of people out there.
Yeah, that's you can say one of the most tragedy in my life. Because actually we are family of 3 with me as a sole son and no siblings for me. So you can see how small our family is, only of 3 members, me, my father and my mother. And my mother is a main, like I generally talk with my mother a lot, and generally as every son, they talk with their fathers whenever the time is required. Yes, we talk a bit like that. And my mother is the main connection between me and my father, and she is the sole housewife who maintains everything. And actually she passed away in some unfortunate, we don't even know, there is no pain, anything. She passed away due to cardiac arrest. And I am in the college, that too on Sunday, that is on October 8th Sunday. Literally I was shocked. I was literally crying to the entire corridors. You were there with me at that time. Like it's entirely shock. Why? Because first I thought something happened to my father. At that time you can say my emotions, on the day I will say my emotions. First I thought something happened to my father. Why? Because I was hearing my dad used to call me daddy. My dad will call me daddy, and my mother also used to call me daddy. That's how they call. So I thought my mother's voice I was hearing on that day, and I thought something happened to my father. I was tense, very tense. So I kept calling to all the relatives, but everyone is far away. No one will be near to us, right? And second time I got a call, again I thought it's my mother who is talking with me. I thought don't be tensed and let's go to the hospital. I am saying something at the time in an emotional burst. Suddenly I went to they went to hospital and I got a call, and now I hear my father's voice. What do you think my emotional status will be? So far I thought something happened to my father. I was literally relaxed. I thought, dad, you are talking with me finally, thank God. So I was playing. He's crying. I was shocked. Why you're crying? You're happy right now. He said my mother passed away. Almost my heart was stopped at that moment. I was even in shambles. So what I thought is like, did something happen to mother or father? As something happened to my father, such that my mother got heart attack seeing it. I was literally confused. And I got to know finally that my mother passed away. Literally I was shocked. I was broken down. Then I have to book my flight, and I went. It was the night I have reached my home. I was literally crying the entire day. After going there, after seeing my mom, like I was just broken down. That's how everything went. But you know, at that time I am the DPR of the of our DPR means the department placement representative. I am the department placement representative at that time. And I am the communication between the CCD, the placement team, as well as our computer science engineering team at that time. But I was in home. That is the peak stage of placement. That's when the companies started coming to us. That's when the exams have started. I know myself. I was really broken down. I don't want to talk with anyone else. I can't say anything. Why? Because that's what DPR has to do. They have to pitch. They have to do everything. I know my emotional status should not affect the students, definitely. So again, I have taken the permission from entire class. Like, my mother passed away. I cannot help you guys. So please excuse me. And we have elected one of our other friend as the DPR, who has done a magnificent role so far. That's how. But that 1 month when I am in home, like after all the relatives go, after 7 days or 11 days, my father and me, the lonely in home. I have tried being strong. Why? Because see, my father and mother, they have a long relationship compared to me. How emotional, unstable he will be there. I have to be strong. Someone have to be strong. Someone has to. If one cries, if other cries also, the thing is, the crying goes on. Someone has to be strong. So I have tried being strong. Of course, emotional burst definitely happens. Even when we are driving car, sometimes we remember our mother, my mother. We start crying. And at that time, the placements are going on. One of my mother's desire. One of my mother's desire is for me to get into a big company. Initially, I've started in TCS with 25k salary. And later, it was improved to 1 lakh, 80,000 or 19,000 in 3 years due to some exams that were conducted in TCS. But my mother is not satisfied with me. Why? Because I'm a bright student, basically. I don't want to say, but I'm a bright student. So my mother expects you are not fit for this. She says she wants some bigger package. So at the end of the day, something has to be done. My mother has passed away. Of course, everyone tries to motivate us. That's the main thing they can do. More thing they can do, but at the end of the day, pain is ours. Whatever motivation comes, nothing happens. But one thing that really helped me are my friends in the college. Whatever I need, whatever I want, they have really helped. My 4 friends. One is you in that. Yeah, you guys really helped me out. Thanks for that again.
So that's a very inspirational story out there for you. Like just before 1 month of our placements, something like this, and he been coming back to the campus and working on that particular interviews, and cracking interview of very good company like Juniper Networks is not a trivial thing. I would say it requires lot of efforts, lot of strength in the heart, and lot of like courage to handle those situations, and lot of mental stability that is been through the process. And I would say he's done a brilliant job in that particular aspect. That's a great inspirational story. It helps a lot of people, I would say. So let's go into college life and M.Tech experiences. Let's make it a bit fun, the process to be fun. So please give some memories that you enjoyed in IIT Guwahati, and some of the very good moments that you are been into, and some of the trips that you have been into, or the experiences that you have with your friends and all those things.
Let me start with my journey in IIT Guwahati. The first day itself, the first day without coming to IIT itself was one of the most funniest and memorable day for me also. See, July 25th is our registration day. So we have definitely we go through all WhatsApp groups, we chat and do that. In that chat, I got one friend. His name is again Tejas. Okay. And he's our cameraman, by the way. Okay. Unpaid cameraman. So, yeah. The first day we have been chatting, and in the airport itself, we called each other, and the airport I met him on the first day. He's with his parents. I am alone myself. Why? Because because I went through Delhi in my B.Tech, so I don't mind joining colleges single. So yes, that day, like as we are new to each other, we are very formal towards each other. The most funniest thing is I have met one guy in the bus. When I was, what he said is, are you going to the IIT Guwahati? Yes, I said, yeah, I'm going to IIT Guwahati. He said, can you please take care of my little brother? I mean, younger brother, okay?
And I am that younger brother.
And I don't even know that he is younger brother. Why? Because I haven't seen him in the flight. And one of my other friend is also in the same flight. I don't even know up to now they are there in that flight. And that brother said, can you take care of my younger brother? Yeah, sure, why not? Please introduce him. But at the after that bus came to the place, we went through other sites. And on the first day itself, I met me and this guy. We went through together to the college. And in the registration itself, we have to do in our hostels also to get the room allocated. That's also, we thought we two want the same room. What happened on that day is, basically line-wise he is giving 2 students into one room, 2 students into one room. In the first year, we have 2 members in one room. Second year, we have shifted to 1 member per room. So what happened on that day is, there is my roommate's father. We said, uncle, we want to be in the same room. Can you make your son to go back? I already registered. Back of me, my roommate. Back of him, my Tejas is there. We came together, so we thought, why don't we be in the same room? And also, language barriers are not there. So what happened? But what uncle said, you know, what is there in it? Everyone is friends here. Everyone will be friends. Okay. At the end of the day, I was matched up with MSc Mathematics guy. And 1 year you can say, like, he's a night guy who keeps on studying till 3 o'clock, and I used to sleep by 9 or 11 or 12 o'clock. He wants to on light, I don't want to on the light. So that small cat fight used to happen always. He used to bring his friends also. So that disturbance and the small cat fights are going to happen. In the first year, we rarely went to trips. We never went, I guess, even one.
Kaziranga we went.
Kaziranga, yeah. That day you can say, basically, I hate cars. Traveling in car. Me and Tejas as well. See, why? Because but I got habituated. He vomits a lot in the car. But these guys are driver. Cameraman. Everything is he. What we do is just sit and go. And the Kaziranga is around 250 kilometers. We, as usual, trusted Google Maps. We went, he took somewhere to forest. We don't even know where it is. After going into that forest, we got to know that we are still 70 kilometers away. Again, it took a lot of time. After going there, we went with so much enthusiasm. We went to Kaziranga, which is famous for rhinoceros. We have seen a lot of rhinoceros. We have tried seeing for tiger, but no tiger was spotted. But we have seen 2 elephants fighting. That too, light glimpse. That's it. One rhinoceros we have seen very much together. That's a really good thing. Again, we went back the same day. You should understand how much effort this guy has kept. He has to anyone doesn't know driving. He traveled 300 kilometers up. He is the cameraman there. Again, we went 300 kilometers. And you know, backside me and Tejas are sleeping happily.
That day I was literally sleeping while driving.
Yeah.
Like, I have no senses in my whole thing. I am just driving. I don't know how I am driving.
Yeah, and we have our navigator Narendra, who has helped in waking up the Karthik a lot in that. Me and Tejas have been sleeping happily. But this guy, and later, one of my most challenging trips is Lightlam. Actually, what happened is, it's around 150 kilometers. It's around 150 kilometers. First of all, we thought to take bikes. but bikes are a bit costlier, so we settled for scooties.
We thought of doing some adventure.
Yeah, we thought of doing some adventure also. So, and we have 2 bikes. So what we did is, the Meghalaya or Shillong curves are like snakes. The roads are really curvy. Unfortunately, in that, I don't want to drive at all. I just want to sit back and chill. Unfortunately, in that, my Karthik has been met with accident. So I have to take the drive. You know, literally, the temperature was going very much, and our hands are freezing. I don't have gloves. Our hands are freezing. And the traffic is also very interesting. The two sides, the cars will be there. In the middle, the bikes has to go. That's really a thrilling trip. But after going to Lightlam, it's so much cool that I don't want to remove my sweater. But for photo poses, I have to do that. It's a really good experience, Lightlam. Then we went to Alcharinga, where in our college itself, it is one of the biggest fest in Northeast. Then we went to Meghalaya. We went to Daki, where we have been in the tents for one day. All the trips are fabulous, and actually, you know, I have enjoyed M.Tech more than B.Tech with you guys here. That's a really memory. Thanks for giving that.
That's very great to hear from GP, and there are a lot of memories and lot of learnings that are being happened throughout these 2 years of journey, I would say, and I would say it is altogether a good journey and very memorable journey. We will be remembering throughout our life, I would say. So GP, let's get back to academics a bit, and it is the sole idea and core idea of this video is to help the future students or upcoming students. Here I want you to talk about a bit of resources that you have been followed, and how much depth of DSA is required, how many problems you have solved in your DSA profile, and which platforms you have followed for your DSA solving, and what are all the resources that you have. Just keep all these resources out there so that it will be helpful to the future upcoming students. And please say how motivated they have to be, and how good they have to be, and how engaging they have to be in the whole process in order to succeed in this whole process. Please give a glimpse of it.
Yeah, coming to the resources, see, first of all, you have to definitely be motivated with DSA. If you are a computer science aspirant, I am trying to say. Why? Because in this DSA subject, there will be some topics, how much hard work you do, you will not get the solution for the problems, and you will be you will be literally broken down.
Can you give some example?
Like myself, I am, you can say, I'm weak with dynamic programming.
Okay.
It's one of the most important topics. Remember, never neglect that. It's one of the most important topics. For that, you need to know the recursion as well. Recursion and dynamic programming are used to be one of my toughest challenges. Sometimes the thing is, whenever in DSA, every student expects to solve every problem they encounter, which definitely doesn't happen. Literally myself, when I'm starting, what I used to do is, I used to solve one problem. Second time, next question if I go, I will not be able to solve problem. The thoughts that go through my mind, you know, why I am doing this, I don't even know this problem, what I am learning, what hard work should I do, all these bad thoughts used to go through me. Demotivated. I used to demotivate, and I used to give break for 2 to 3 days. And within this 2 to 3 days, whatever momentum I built, it will go. So definitely don't demotivate. Every question you cannot solve. You have to learn from that question. That is one of the model question. Next time you can solve how the editors or the problem has been approached. There are a lot of online solutions. They will say why this approach is being used also. So if you're able to solve this problem, next time if you encounter similar problem, you will start thinking in that approach, which helps to solve many problems. You will be definitely demotivated. Lot of times I have given up coding. I don't want to code. I just want to go home and do some job. That's how many times I have. But somehow we struggled together. Not only me, even my friends. We struggled together. And coming to platforms, initially I have taken Geek4Geeks. There is a DSA full-paced course. I have paid for it. And so I have to go through every lesson he say and I have to practice. Of course, that's actually boring way of learning. But actually, in order for your basics to be strong, you need to follow someone. So initially, I used to follow Geek4Geeks. I have went up to some point. Yes, I followed it. After that, I have given up on it. Later, through my friends, they used to follow mainly the Striver sheet or Baba sheet, which are mainly around 450 to 500 problems. These are, you can say, like Bible for most of the, up to me. It's like Bible for me. So I have went through this Striver sheet, and initially I used to practice in Geek4Geeks platform itself. Later I have been practicing in LeetCode. Why? Because LeetCode has more vast test cases compared to Geek4Geeks. And similarly InterviewBit, there is a platform InterviewBit, and CodeChef. And it is even better if you practice CodeChef and Codeforces, any two of them, as your stars increases, because there are some companies which keep shortlisting criteria as CodeChef rating or Codeforces rating or InterviewBit rating, not Geek4Geeks and LeetCode. So definitely you can use any of the platforms. For me, I have been practicing rigorously mainly on the Striver sheet, where it has 450 to 500 problems. Once I have done that, I am giving Geek4Geek contests regularly. Definitely give contests. Why? Because on the day of exam, you will be feeling very nervous. The thoughts even don't come to you because of time constraint. So definitely start giving contests. Once you give contests, you will be habituated to the way you have to code. And coming to normal academics, the coursework. So far I have said about the placement. Coursework. First of all, try to listen to your professors. That's the best source. If not, you have a lot of online sources. Just go to YouTube, whatever concept you have, go. That's it. So for coursework, it's not a major problem.
So how did you manage your academics, MTP and these placements?
First of all, my coursework and MTP has never clashed. Why? Because first year is entirely about the coursework. So generally, actually speaking, we haven't started our placement preparation much in the first year. Even I haven't started my preparation first year, but at the end of first year, maybe in the March or May, we have started opening Geek4Geeks and start some small problems we used to solve. But mainly once MTP has been started, what I used to do is regularly I used to work from 9 to 5 for my thesis work. After 5, it's up to 12. I am very much free. I have a lot of time. So I have to do coding. I used to do rigorous coding in that.
Yeah. Okay, very well. You
time balanced, yes, balanced
time
time,
very
yes.
well, so that it will not clash with any other things.
Yes.
That's a good thing that people should take away from there.
Yeah, balancing time is important. You cannot invest much on your. Of course, placement is your own motto, but don't never ignore your thesis work also.
So now that you have secured a good job in IIT, so what are your future plans and how you want to go upon your future and life? Could you please talk a bit of
future plans in the sense? Yes. First of all,
the main motto that I have asked this question is, what people are taking away from these IITs, like what people are actually doing in their lives after this studying in IITs and all these things.
It depends upon a person to person, basically. See, someone aspires to be a good entrepreneur, where IIT has produced so many entrepreneurs. Similarly, some sort to go through their job levels. So what, as usual, what I want to do is I will be joining the Juniper Networks. I want to see every company, whenever you display your creativity or your innovative ideas, every company will welcome you. There are very less higher ups who don't encourage the talent. So I just want to go there. I want to express myself and have a good growth in the company. That's the main target. And of course the side luxury, where we want to buy a house, we want to build something, we want to get married. All those are byproducts of the successful life. Yeah, that's it. One thing is, in IITs, there are definitely many paths. There are many entrepreneurs, there are many businessmen, there are many researcher mainly. researchers, they are actually the foundation of the entire IIT. Those are the reasons why IITs are famous. So why? Because they innovate many things. Researcher, you can go through research way, or you can go through a big product based company, have a good life. There are many paths. It's up to you what you choose.
To the audience, like, it is not very easy to put all the resources that he followed in this particular journey process. So I'll be putting all the resources that he followed in the description section of this particular video. So if you want to check out, please see some of the resources that he followed through entire process of his placement journey. So to wind up the interview, I'll be asking some rapid fire questions to him. So he has to answer those rapid fire questions. Okay. So your favorite spot in the IIT Guwahati campus, and why it is your favorite spot? Just answer like this.
My room.
Why
My room is the only place I love. I mean, it's one of my favorite spot.
Okay.
I don't want to leave my room at all.
That's bit wide answer, but okay, we'll accept. Like, there are many places for, like, it depends on a person to person. Yes. Okay, it's not a.
There are definitely many beautiful spots in IIT Guwahati. It's around 700 acres campus. You should know how beautiful it is. But any of them, my room comes first for me.
Okay. If you could relive one day of your M.Tech life, what would it be and why?
First, I want to say it might be my job day where I got the job, but I have no one to share my happiness with that day on that day. So I will definitely do my joining date, where I think I have taken very right step to join IIT Guwahati to meet many brilliant minds here. So July 25th, 2020.
So the most challenging course that you have took during your M.Tech, or how you able to progress through that particular course?
I already said in the interview process at DSA itself.
Okay.
Data structures and algorithms. There is another.
But you secured 10 points in that particular
That's
course.
how what happens. That's what we worked hard for, right? It's a challenging thing. There are some subjects which I have secured less than 10, but I haven't found them challenging. But unfortunately, I scored less. But DSN, there is one more subject, algorithms, which is one of the most horror thing to some of my friends. Nightmare. Some of my friends also got nightmares. Our professor used to get in his dreams.
Okay. So could you share some funny or embarrassing moment from your M.Tech days?
There are a lot of funny things. Embarrassing thing. No, it's not an embarrassing thing. What happened is, it might be during holiday. One of my friend is wearing the very new T-shirt, and you can say, he, like in our batch, he is the younger one. He is the younger one also. On the holiday, even I didn't care if he's wearing new T-shirt or old. It's a Holi, so I just threw color on him. He gave me a look as if he will kill me on that day. That's like most fearful and funny one on that day.
So what is your dream destination for a post M.Tech celebratory trip?
Can you give me some options?
There are no options, like you should have some options.
See, first actually I want to go to my home to celebrate with my dad.
Great.
That's the why, because it's been 6 months I have been to home. I just want to go home and have celebration with my dad. Why? Because I don't know, this is the time I have to stay with my father actually. 1 year I have to. Why? Because my mother is not there. He is alone in the home. I don't know how he went through, but he has supported me. He has constantly encouraged me. You go and do your studies. I will be okay here. I don't know what he went through. So I just want to go to my dad, give him a good tight hug and celebrate.
So that's a very great and inspirational interview from Gnana Prakash from IIT Guwahati. So he is very inspirational to many people out there, and the journey of his 2 years has been a very nice journey, I would say. And the resources he has followed, all these things I will be putting in the description. It will be helpful for the people who are aiming to crack such interviews. So with this we will conclude this interview, and it's nice speaking to Gnana Prakash and learning from him. knowing from him and for the interview. Thank you,
Thank
GP.
you so much, Karthik ji.
Okay.